Love for who? Did you see Kamala shut down those MAGA hecklers by saying, "Oh, you at the wrong rally. You want the smaller one down the street?" Like, I burst out laughing. Oh my God, please be my Madam President. If the real one is this funny, imagine the sheer hilarity of Maya Rudolph's rendition on SNL. There's so much to work with there. She could almost Kamala could almost talk about nothing but crowd sizes and melt Trump's little brain to mush. There's a tipping point, though. His cult followers could take it personally and start showing up in droves. Maybe there's really not that many anymore. The Juggalos have way more followers and they're more dedicated to being murder clowns. A day of love. January 6th was indeed a day of love for Donald Trump. He didn't call them off for hours because he was enjoying himself. That's all he remembers. Why are we shocked? Like, to call them off, he said, "We love you, you're very special." To make them stop defiling the U.S. Capitol building over an egregious lie. Is there lipstick on my teeth? No, I'm still using this tape. Okay, egregious lie. An imposed delusion. No one started a riot for Al Gore when Bush Jr. stole the 2000 election without the popular vote. There was a lot of nonsense about hanging chads and recounts for weeks, especially in Florida. Eventually, Gore conceded, and I think he won an Oscar eventually. There's no delusion of voter fraud, just nitpicking and eventual conceit. Oh well. Nobody died when Gore had to concede to George Bush. Trump will never take responsibility for the chaos he caused that day. He will never see it that way. He thinks of the rioters as heroes because they were fighting for him. Not for democracy. No, they just wanted to win after being defeated. Imagine if a high school football team brought zip ties to the locker room in case they lost. It's all a game to them, and they think that winning means throwing tantrums about the other side cheating when the evidence is clear they've lost. Election day is not the end of this fight. They will never admit defeat, and we will have a mentally ill, gaslighted, violent mob on our hands again. We're prepared this time. Kamala is a prosecutor, basically a cop. She won't let them tear our country apart. Madam President Kamala Harris will make sure I keep getting my health care, restore reproductive rights, strengthen the middle class, and keep fighting in Ukraine, too. Trump gets into office, he would cut off all military funding to Ukraine if Putin asked him. Then Ukraine would be part of Russia and stolen land. Trump doesn't care about stealing if it's from him if it's him stealing or if it's his friends doing it. So typical, it's boring, but it's scary too. I followed Johnny Depp on TikTok and 3 fake Johnny Depps followed me. TikTok is owned by China and they have romance scammer mills where victims of human trafficking are forced into slave labor, tricking lonely people out of money. I doubt whoever is running the press at Trump's Bible factory is not getting paid a fair wage in China. His followers keep falling for his insane bullshit because of Trump, not a love of democracy. They're convinced Trump will be better for their wallets, and they don't care about the fact that it's not true, and Kamala would be better for us all. Yesterday, I was out ukulele busking, and I asked some tourists if they'd like to hear a song. They were walking from behind me, so they saw my Vote for Kamala shirt. And this really fat white guy quietly muttered, "Vote for Trump." Like, he doesn't even say it proudly. He just muttered it under his breath like a coward. And I asked him, why are you voting for Trump? And he said, so we don't end up like you, and kept walking away. And, like, that's mean. I'm out here earning a living like a good little capitalist, and they look down on me for my profession. No empathy. I should have said, oh yeah, go for a walk and come back with my pocket full of cash. You go for a walk and you're still fat. Because fat shaming is not okay. But I didn't say that. But what is it about? It's not the only very fat white guy who is for Trump, and they always seem mean about it. This is a demographic I'm seeing here. I'm not body shaming anybody who didn't deserve it in the first place. Why are fat white guys so into Trump? They're lazy, entitled, and sociopathic. Not all fat white guys are lazy, so sociopathic and stuff, but these people seem to be. 4 other people yesterday saw my shirt and said, vote for Kamala. One guy said, I already voted for Kamala. And one family who spoke only French said, go Kamala. And they communicated that they wanted to get a Kamala hat. And I don't think they understood that my shirt is do it yourself. So I don't know where they can get a Kamala hat. But we shared the support. And even though they're not from this country, France doesn't want to get taken over by Russia either. Ukraine, we have to keep fighting with Ukraine because Russia won't stop there. There's no end to Putin's madness, and he already has Trump on little puppet strings. Global safety is at stake. Don't even get me started on Israel. People need to stop fucking with Israel. People need to stop fucking with Israel. They have our military support, and they don't fuck around. Kamala wouldn't pull funding from Israel any more than any other president, Democrat, or Republican. So many civilians are dying because Hamas is hiding amongst them, and Israel doesn't care about the civilians and wants to occupy the rest of Palestine, which no one seems to be stopping, even though it's a war crime. I don't know the answer, but neither does Trump. He will make it worse, and Kamala will work to make it better. That's all I know. Vote for Kamala Harris.